Ware launched Monday, May the 12th, and with it came a puzzle game from Australian developer No. And the game is Pop. Pop's main objective is just to pop bubbles. And you would think this would get old pretty quick, but Pop has some interesting gameplay that keeps it fun and worth playing. The best way to explain how the gameplay works is you pop bubbles to keep points and time. Bigger bubbles give you more time but less points, and little bubbles give you more points but less time. The best way to earn the most points is to pop bubbles of the same color in a row, and this forms chains. And the more bubbles you pop, the more bonus points you will earn. As you're popping bubbles in your chain, you're going to notice a +1, a +2, a +3, and so on. The pluses are how many bubbles are in your chain and how many bonus points you earn. There's 3 ways to break a chain, and the 3 ways are: if you miss a bubble, if you pop a bubble of a different color, and if you pop a skull bubble. If you pop a bubble of a different color, all you have to do is keep popping the same color bubbles over and form another chain. But if you miss, you're going to lose 3 seconds off your clock, and it's going to break your chain. And the skull bubble works the exact same way as missing. You're going to break the chain, and you're going to knock 3 seconds off your clock. The skull bubble is the only power down in this game, but there are several power-ups that are pretty cool. The first one is the pump up. The pump up actually works by you grabbing a bubble with the A button, shaking the Wiimote up and down until the bubble reaches its max, and you release the bubble so it explodes and it pops all the bubbles of the same color, forming a chain. The nuke power up works just like the pump up power up, except for you don't have to pump it up. All you do is pop that bubble, and it's going to pop all the bubbles of the same color as the nuke bubble to form a chain. These power-ups will benefit you in the game, but they also can kill you in the end. Especially the nuke power-up. If you pop the nuke power-up and there are several skull bubbles of the same color, you're going to lose 3 seconds for each bubble that's popped. And in the end, that can kill you because seconds is the only thing that keeps you in the game. Then you got the time warp power-up, which slows down the time and makes all the bubbles move real slow. This is helpful to form chains and helps you pick out the smaller bubbles without rushing and missing. Then you have the grow power-up, which makes your cursor larger. The larger cursor makes it easier to pop smaller bubbles. There's also 2 power-ups found in co-op mode. The first of the power-up is the shock power-up. The shock power-up electrifies your cursor and stuns your opponent if you touch them or if they touch you. The second co-op power-up is the torch. The torch power-up will black out the screen and light up your cursor. The time warp power-up also has a multiplayer function. Not only does it slow down the time for you, but it'll shock your opponent so they can't pop the bubbles. I have to say that the multiplayer mode in this game is awful. You're battling your opponents for points, but you're both sharing the clock. And when they miss, it affects you by knocking 3 seconds off of the clock. Also in the multiplayer mode, when someone pops the torch bubble and the screen goes black, someone's going to miss a bubble and you're going to lose 3 seconds. It ain't nothing worse than them blindly popping space and you're losing 3 seconds because it brings the game to an end quicker. And when you shock your opponent, they won't be able to pop any bubbles. You'll be able to pop bubbles and you'll keep gaining points, but your clock is suffering because it's only you popping bubbles, not the 2 of y'all. And I've noticed that multiplayer mode just isn't as fun as it is when you're playing alone, and I suggest that you just play this game alone. Pop also has an online leaderboard which connects to Nintendo's Wi-Fi connection. The leaderboard will keep bringing you back until you reach the #1 spot. Your friends on your friends list will get updated scores through Nintendo's We Connect 24 list, so you're always competing with your friends for high scores. Pop has a very tranquil background music, and the sound effects flow real well with the game, and they don't overpower it even through the Wii remote. Pop doesn't offer anything graphically, but what it does offer is pure, fun gameplay. Pop is well worth the 700 Wii points because it has great gameplay. It also has replay value, and I would recommend this to anyone that likes puzzle games and to anyone that would want to kill an hour here or there.